Alright everyone, I'm very excited. Let me just minimize my screen here and we can just get started. Welcome everyone to the Lootbox Bootcamp episode 2, the big opportunity. First off, how's my audio? Can you guys hear me okay before we continue any longer? Audio's okay? Hello? Sorry for the delay, guys. Yeah. Alright, if all the audio is good, then we can continue on. Welcome to the Lootbox Bootcamp, episode 2, the big opportunity. If you're an aspiring crypto gamer or guild, you're in the right place. Crypto gaming is about to explode, and we are early. In this episode, we're going to zoom out to the big picture to understand what this crazy phenomenon is. Then we'll look at the 5 ways to make money in crypto gaming. And finally, we'll zoom in to the different layers of gaming in the metaverse. Just kidding. That last part we didn't have time for, so even though it's super interesting, that will need to be in a separate episode. Anyways, let's begin. The big picture. So, how the fuck is this even possible? That humanity can afford to pay people to play video games? Are we really that rich? Especially when there are so many problems still left to be solved on planet Earth. Still so much poverty. Seriously, is this a cruel joke? Is crypto gaming a massive waste of resources and talent? The short answer is no. There's a very real and good reason why crypto gaming exists. And we're going to see how it was actually inevitable, the natural course of human society's evolution. Let's take a deeper look and uncover the truth. Together with me, your bootcamp instructor, Professor O.X. Terry. Technology creates wealth. It lets us do more with less. Modern fertilizer lets us grow more food with less land. And cars let us travel further distances in less time. This is a graph of the world's GDP per capita over time. You can see that the average wealth per person stayed mostly the same throughout history. And then starting around the 1800s, humans got rich fast. We start out here in the agricultural era. Most people are farming to survive, and only 1 in 10 people could do something else, like being a soldier or a musician. And for the average person, you would need to work 1 day and earn enough to have food for 1 day. You pretty much stayed poor your whole life. And wealth is created directly by human labor. The only way to get rich was to have more humans working for you or living in your country. Then we reached the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s. Machines made us more productive, and now only 1 in 10 people needed to be farmers. Which meant 9 people could do other things, like be doctors, or lawyers, and musicians. And thanks to machines, now 1 day's work could buy you 1 week's of food. And you would have extra money to spend on other things, like going to the movies for entertainment. In this industrial era, wealth is created with machines. The people who owned the machines owned all the wealth. Finally, we reached the internet era in the 2000s, which is where we are today. In advanced economies like the USA and Europe, only 1 in 100 people are farmers. Because not only do we have farm machinery, we also have genetically modified seeds designed on a computer and agricultural drones, robotics, also made on computers, which lets one farmer create an enormous amount of food. And 99 people are free to do other jobs, like being YouTubers and programmers, and graphic designers and TikTok stars. And even with a boring minimum wage job, your one day of work could buy almost 1 month of food. If you buy raw bulk calories, no fancy restaurants. But most importantly, in the age of the internet, it is information that builds wealth. There are millions of factories all over the world, in China, India, and in America, and a lot of competition. But how do they know what to make, how much to sell it for, who to sell it to? Having these answers is what makes you rich. Information builds wealth. Okay, so if information builds wealth in the internet era, how do you get a share of that wealth? The answer is blockchain. Because blockchain is digital ownership. You own your information, your data. You can own a piece of the internet. This was not possible in the past, before we had blockchain. The internet without blockchain has no ownership. All the information is owned by tech companies. Tech companies own all the wealth, and therefore tech companies own all the data and therefore get all the wealth. The internet without blockchain is just digital colonialism. But instead of extracting raw resources, these companies are extracting raw data and getting rich from it. Every purchase you make, a portion of the seller's cost goes towards advertising, which is paid to Google, Facebook, TikTok. It's analyzed by Amazon to know what to recommend you to buy. And you own none of your data, so you get none of the wealth in this internet era. But the internet with blockchain is totally different. Blockchain enables digital ownership. You own your data. You own a piece of the internet. But how do you own a piece of it? Well, that's what crypto is. Owning Ethereum is literally owning a piece of the blockchain internet. Owning a project's token is owning a piece of the project. Assuming the token has utility, which is a whole different topic that we won't get into this episode. The point is, blockchain and crypto allow you to actually own the information that builds wealth in the modern internet era. Technology is making everything cheaper and making people's lives better. Eventually, the cost to produce something, such as clothing, reaches almost zero. Imagine you had perfect recycling. Making new clothes is just recycling old clothes. And if we have 100% renewable energy, then even the machines are free to run. And as things get cheaper and widely available to everyone, more people can enjoy a higher quality of life, and we can all be rich. Right? Almost. Because the cost to produce something is only half the story. There is also the cost of marketing, so that the customer can even know about the product and want to buy it. The cost of anything is equal to the cost of physically produce it, plus the cost of marketing. So yes, technology does reduce the cost of production, and as the production cost goes down, marketing costs go up. And since everything has a marketing cost, this trend affects the entire world economy. Every shoe, every tomato, every match on Tinder. And that's how the entertainment industry makes money. Entertainment captures our attention so that it can give us a 30-second advertisement to market something. All entertainment is tied back to marketing in some way or another. Music, movies, sports, social media, and yes, video games. As technology gets better and better, pushing down the production costs, marketing costs increase to take its place. And all that money is going into the entertainment industries. But wait. Guess who owns the information? Every TikTok dance, every YouTube video, every social media post you make, you don't own it. Facebook owns it. Google owns it. They will make all the money and you get nothing. You just keep doing your little TikTok dances. And that's why blockchain is going to change everything. Digital ownership means you get that money from advertising. It might not feel like it because it's not like an advertiser is directly paying you, giving you money. It's indirect, but it's still there. All that money is coming from marketing budgets. Blockchain allows you to own your share of that money. Crypto gaming. The truth is, crypto gaming is a global wealth transfer via the entertainment industry. I'll read that again. Crypto gaming is a global wealth transfer from rich countries to the rest of the world via the entertainment industry. But we're not done yet. Alright, how's everyone doing? Entertaining so far? Alright, okay. Let's continue on. I'm glad you guys are entertained. Can anyone name these two countries? Alright, this dark empty one up here and this bright vibrant one down here. Can anyone name them? Do we know? Anyone? Yeah, you can just type it in the chat if you know. Hello, Meow Juice. Yes, that is correct, Yurikin. That you are correct. It's North Korea and South Korea. In North Korea, the government owns everything. The government tells you what to do, and they're often wrong. Humans just aren't good at planning complex, advanced economies, and that's why the lights are off. Because the government owns everything, the economy is fake. It's not real, so it never truly grows. No one is getting wealthier, and that's why the lights are off. But in South Korea, it's a flourishing free market economy. People are free to make their own decisions. And people also have ownership. They own their cars, their houses, their bank accounts. They can work hard to improve their lives, and they don't need to worry about the government coming in to take away everything they own, which is very important for motivation. If you have ownership, you are motivated to improve yourself and your environment, which creates more wealth. And that's why the lights are bright. The economy is real. Well, guess what? This is the same thing with video games. Traditional games are like North Korea. The game developers own everything and make all the rules. When you buy an item in a traditional game, you don't own it. You can't sell it. It's all owned by the video game developers. But in blockchain games, you do have digital ownership. The in-game items are owned by players and guilds, and since they own it, they are willing to invest more money into increasing their earnings potential, which grows the game more and brings the economy to life. Which is why blockchain games make so much money, because the economy is a real free market. So, how much more money do blockchain games even make? Well, on the left is Honor of Kings, the world's most popular mobile game. It is a traditional non-crypto game. And on the right is Axie Infinity, the world's most popular crypto game. Over the last 7 years, Honor of Kings has averaged $2 billion in annual sales. Last year, Axie Infinity also made $2 billion in sales. But Honor of Kings has 70 million players, while Axie Infinity only has 3 million players. That's 30 times more revenue per user. And that's why crypto gaming will be the future of gaming. Money talks, and no game studio can ignore so much money. The game studios who say they're not making crypto games are lying. They are secretly making blockchain games right now or investing in blockchain games. And it's going to change humanity, civilization forever. Crypto gaming shares global wealth, and it will help make the world a more equitable place. A great economist once said, "It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white as long as it catches mice." And that's Deng Xiaoping, the chairman of China in the 80s and 90s, that helped bring China out of communism from a command economy, a closed centralized command economy, into a capitalist, more free market. So these are really just like trends that we've seen in history, but now they are happening again in the digital world. Digital ownership changes everything. Okay, so now, how do you get some of that money? Right? Quick check. How's everyone doing? Are we good? We good? Let's see. All right, let's continue on. All right, more people entered the chat. Hello, welcome everyone. All right, continue on. So here's a very misleading example of how much money you can make playing crypto games. It's misleading because these are the best case scenarios for each game at its peak. Still, it's interesting to see because people really did make this much money from playing crypto games. These are all in US dollars. $500 a month in Axie Infinity is a lot. You know, that's a higher salary than 2 billion people around the world. And don't forget, you're only playing for 3 hours a day. So that's pretty damn good money. And if you bought the Axie Infinity token early, if you invested $1,000 into Axie during 2020, a year later it would be worth $1 million. And that's a lot of money made very fast. But wait, before you go YOLO your life savings into crypto video games, let Professor OX Terran guide you through the hysteria, and learn how it actually works. Alright, so there are 5 ways to make money in crypto gaming. 1, playing the game. 2, NFT Presales. 3, NFT Lending and Breeding. 4, token hodling and staking. And 5, investing in players and guilds. Now this is not a complete list. There are many other ways to make money in crypto gaming. For example, being a crypto gaming YouTuber, and you can make advertising revenue like that. But these are the main 5 ways that are like more directly related to crypto games that we're going to cover in this episode. So we're first going to evaluate each method using a scorecard of 5 attributes. The first one is risk. What are the chances that you lose money? Next is wait time, which is how long you need to wait until you can make a profit. Then there's the work. You know, how much effort do you need to expend in order to make a profit? Fourth is reward. So how much can you profit? And lastly, liquidity, which is how fast and easily you can sell to make a profit. Cash is perfect liquidity because it's always instant, whereas a house is not very liquid because it takes a lot of time and effort to sell a house. Liquidity is important because you want to be able to take profits while you're profitable. Things can change fast in crypto, so timing is really important. For each of the attributes, we will rank them on a scorecard from 1 to 5. For the red colored ones, a lower score is better. You know, you want less risk, you want to wait less time, you want to do less work. And for the green colored ones, a higher score is better. You know, you want to make higher rewards, more money, faster. All right. So, sounds good? I'll check the chat real quick. How's everyone doing? All right, welcome. Okay, great. So we start with playing the game. So the reality of crypto gaming in 2022 is that most games are not that fun. Good games take time to build. There's also simple games that are very fun but may not have as robust economies, but it's too early to say. Maybe the crypto Angry Birds is actually extremely profitable and fun. In the gaming industry, the last thing you want to do is limit your imagination. For me, I like to give all games a chance. The most important thing is that the game needs to be fun. If it's not fun, then what's the point, right? Like, this entire industry is so that gamers can have fun. Now, it's actually really easy to start playing a game even if you have no money. You can get a scholarship from a guild or even rent NFTs. But since it's low risk, you also earn less because you need to pay the owner of the NFTs to use it. If you are the owner of the NFTs, then it's actually playing the game can be pretty good earnings. Unfortunately, in 2022, playing the game makes the least money out of all 5 methods. But this will change. In the long term, if games want to be sustainable, then playing the game needs to have high earnings potential. Good games are made for players, not speculators. But true wealth in crypto games will always be owning the NFTs. If you're a scholar or renter, your goal should always be to become an owner, which is what we're going to be teaching you in this bootcamp. So, let's look at the scorecard for playing games as a scholar or renter. There's literally zero risk, as you don't actually pay for anything, except maybe a small daily rental fee if you choose to rent. And since there's low risk, there's also low reward, as most of your earnings goes to the NFT. Meanwhile, the amount of work needed is quite high. So being a scholar or renter is the most typical starting point for crypto gamers. Things get a lot better when you are an owner of the NFT. Risk goes up quite a bit because you need to buy the actual asset and you need to wait a bit longer to make your money back. But you can see that the reward goes up a lot. But that's just playing the game. If we're talking about the reward for being an owner, we could include the passive income from renting to other players as well as many other opportunities to earn, which would actually put ownership at 5 out of 5. But yeah, the overall, just playing the game, it's not bad, actually, quite good actually. Alright, next is NFT Presales. So this one is for the brave believers. So here's how NFT Presales work. A game will start marketing themselves when they're still just artwork, and often nothing made yet. During this early marketing phase, they will have a presale where the NFTs are supposed to be much cheaper. If you think the game has potential, you can buy these early NFTs now at a big discount. Then you wait 6 months for the developers to actually make the game. Delays are very common and should even be. A lot can go wrong during the 6 months wait, which is why NFT presales can be risky. Hopefully it ends up actually launching with a lot of media hype and excitement. At this point, you can sell your NFTs at a higher price or keep them to play the game. If everything goes according to plan, then you bought the NFT at a low enough price and you'll quickly make back all your money plus have a stream of income from it. It will continue to bring you wealth for many years to come, or however long the game is popular for. But there's also a chance that the game never launches, which in that case it was an empty promise and you end up losing money or most of your money. Or maybe the game did launch, but it ends up being much worse than initially advertised. And this is actually very common. It's easy to make a hype marketing video, but hard to deliver on a quality fun game. If this happens, it likely means you overpaid for your presale NFT. Of course, we love to bring up the Pixelmon project just because it was ridiculous. Someone paid $8,000 for a trash game. Whew. Okay, so this is the framework you can use to help evaluate the fair price of an NFT presale. The price of anything is based on what buyers are willing to pay for it, and that's based on two things: the real value that the product or service has, and the perceived value to the buyer. So let's take a look at an example. These are Japanese melons, grown in irregular shapes like hearts and cubes. They taste exactly like a regular melon, yet their price is much higher. The shape just looks cool, and therefore the perceived value goes up relative to the real value. A lot of NFTs without utility are just like this. And then there's winter tires. So if you live in a cold climate region, you know that the roads can get dangerous during the winter, and you should invest in good winter tires. They can save your life. That's real value. But tires are also boring, so the perceived value isn't as high as it should be. Okay, so now that you understand real and perceived value, here's the ideal case for your NFT pre-sales. You find a project that has a lot of potential, but not many people know about. You buy the pre-sale at a nice low price, and then 6 months later, the game is blowing up. Both the real and perceived value has gone up a lot, which nets you a massive profit, which you can spend on whatever makes you happy. This is honestly one of the best feelings in the world. When you see the potential early, you make a big bet on the team and they deliver you an amazing outcome. You know, some people get addicted to this feeling. But the opposite could be true too. You buy an overhyped presale with no substance, and 6 months later the game launches and it's terrible, or never launches at all, and you lose a bunch of money and your family yells at you for being an idiot. If this happens to you, I'm sorry. Next time, do more research, or don't put all your eggs in one basket. Never invest what you are not willing to lose. Which reminds me, I actually forgot to mention that none of this is financial advice. Okay, I think I'm supposed to say that, right? Everyone knows that this is not financial advice. Okay, all right, good. Not financial advice. Anyways, continuing on. So here's how to spot the marketing hype. There tends to be a lot of teaser footage. You see a lot of paid influencers shilling. The choice of words kind of focuses on how much money you'll make if you buy early. So they say things like, this project is going to moon or stuff, instead of talking about the actual gameplay. Oh, and then there's FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, I want to point out that marketing is actually a good thing. You want a team that knows how to do marketing. You just need to make sure that what they are marketing is real. So here's how you can tell if a game is real. The teaser footage is from actual in-game graphics. They've actually built large portions of the project, and you can see it with your own eyes. There's a lot of organic buzz around it. People are actually talking about it and getting genuinely excited. The team cares about building for sustainability. They want their hard work and your investment to be rewarding for many years to come. If the project's team is not thinking about sustainability at all, then it's probably not going to be a game that lasts. And most importantly, the game is actually fun. Remember, this is the whole reason why games exist. Now, it's important to know that building a game is hard. As a player and investor, it's easy to judge, but anyone who has built a game knows how challenging it is, and no team is perfect. Behind every legit project is a group of dreamers working tirelessly to make that game a reality. So if you think a game is legit but could have some improvements, tell the developers. Feedback is so important, and they will appreciate your care and support. So be critical, but do your own research and have some empathy. Here's everything put together. This is not a complete list. There's just so many more things you can look at, and we will potentially have another episode dedicated to this type of NFT pre-sale analysis. But yeah, overall, NFT pre-sales are a very attractive investment option if you are patient and are willing to take the risk. You also have to do quite a bit of research, so it's not for everyone. You might be really good at it, or maybe just get lucky. So alright, now we move on to NFT lending and breeding. So this is great if you're lazy. Before we go on, let's just check with the audience. How's everyone doing? Nice. Okay. Hello. Hello. Great. Okay, let's continue. Right. So NFT lending is when you let someone else borrow your NFTs and put them to productive use. Usually this means they pay you a daily rental fee, which could be a guaranteed flat rate or a non-guaranteed percentage commission. So we've partnered with NFT lending platforms, and we will be making tutorials on that in a future episode. NFT lending is attractive because it's passive income. Someone else is doing the hard work. And finally, your NFT loans can be collateralized or uncollateralized. So collateralization is basically just a security deposit to prevent the borrower from running away with your NFTs. So usually that would be some amount of money, and that would be that that money would be held by the rental platform on your behalf. So if the borrower runs away with your NFT, you get the crypto collateral, which is nice, but sometimes the collateral amount isn't really enough to replace the real value of the NFT. There's also possible to have no collateral NFT loans that are safe. We call these like guaranteed safe NFT loans. So they use special blockchain technology to make it impossible for the borrower to run away with your NFTs. And we've also partnered with those no collateral guaranteed safe rental platforms to get you early access to their powerful technology. So NFT lending is actually a pretty advanced topic, so we're going to save those details for another episode. Overall, NFT lending is quite nice. If you have collateral or use one of the guaranteed safe services, then lending is low risk. It's low wait time, it's low effort, and the rewards can add up. It is the definition of passive income. And as an NFT owner, you should definitely be doing this if you can. The risk changes a lot if there's no collateral and no anti-fraud guarantee. You run a high chance of someone stealing your NFT, and this risk can be reduced if the borrower is coming from a reputable guild or person, but you're still taking a chance, so be careful. Alright, NFT breeding. So this is another form of passive income. In some games, your NFTs can have children, which can be sold for a nice profit. So this is not possible in all games. The game developers need to support it, and the ability to breed does affect tokenomics, but it's too early to confidently say how. So we'll see if more or less games starting to support breeding. In most cases, there's also a max limit on breeding. For example, in Axie Infinity, it's 7. And it usually also costs money to breed. Some games use this as a burning mechanism to help stabilize their economy, which is also an advanced topic that we'll probably cover in a separate video. Finally, any breedable NFT has a max limit, which will actually decrease the value of your NFT with each breed. So overall, breeding is a fantastic source of income for you as an NFT owner. It's high reward, easy to sell, and relatively low risk, low work, and fast. But one thing to note is that the scorecard can be very different depending on the rules of the game. So you'll need to do your research to learn how breeding works in that specific game. Alright, next is token hodling and staking. For those of you who don't know, token hodling just means holding the token until the value goes up. It's pretty lazy in a good way. So token hodling is good when you believe in the game but don't care about the gameplay. Maybe you don't ever intend to play the game but you want to make a profit. It's less work than researching NFTs, and it's easy to sell. You just go to Uniswap and swap it for any other token. In 2022, the most common token to hold is the governance token. So this usually means you get voting rights of some kind. And historically, this has increased in value more. In fact, the tweet we saw earlier, turning 1K into 1 mil in a year, that was the Axie Infinity governance token. And then there's the currency token, which is used in the game and earned by players. A game should have plenty of use cases for the currency tokens to be spent in-game or burnt. Otherwise, players will sell the currency token on the open market and hurt the price. So when you play a game, you are likely earning the in-game currency token. But it's important to note that this isn't a hard rule. This is just the current trend in 2022. So future games can be very different, and it's not limited to 2 tokens. So to recap, investors tend to hold the governance token when they believe in the company. And players hold the currency token because they've been earning it inside the game and maybe expect the price to go up. Now, personally, I would not advise anyone to buy the currency token as an investor. Also, this is not financial advice, as there's a high chance that it loses value due to in-game inflation, at least in 2022. Holding the currency token is more for the players who want to increase their earnings, which can actually be a very lucrative strategy, especially because some games will give early players a lot of tokens to make it worth their time. And then the game gets more popular and suddenly your tokens are worth way more. So this is actually a viable strategy for players and scholars. Okay, so what about staking, right? You've probably heard this word being used before, but what exactly is it? Well, staking can mean many things, and we're going to focus specifically on one definition, which is it's a bribe. You promise the project you will not sell your tokens, and usually this is for a specified period of time, like 3 months, and in exchange you get rewarded with more of the same tokens, right? Hence the bribe. So this is good for the project because if no one sells, the price won't go down. The risk of staking is that you have to give control of your tokens to a smart contract, which has a risk of getting hacked. But staking is a very loosely used word, which could also mean many more things, and I don't want to confuse you. Still, here's a list of other things that your stake tokens could be used to do. So, as a crypto gamer, you really don't need to know any of these other definitions. They're more DeFi than GameFi, but if I don't mention them, someone in DeFi is going to yell at me. But yeah, as a gamer, you don't need to know this. So maybe we'll explore these advanced DeFi topics in another episode. But for now, let's stay on topic and move on. So here's the scorecard for token hodling without staking. As you can see, without staking. As you can see, the reward is quite high and very liquid. If you like the freedom to go in and out at any time, then token hodling is for you. Plus, it's very little work and almost no waiting. Now, if you're willing to go a little bit further and stake your tokens, then you'll get those extra staking rewards that sweeten the deal. And honestly, you should be staking your tokens if you are hodling because that's just free money. But be aware that when you stake, you are exposing yourself to a bit of risk that the contract gets hacked. So the safest place is your own cold wallet, right? But it's up to you if that extra staking reward is worth the risk. And finally, we reach the last earning method, which is investing into players and guilds. So before we go on, how's everyone doing? Is everyone good? All right. We'll continue on. All right, so typically you would invest in players if you don't know what to do in this game, and you would rather leave it to the professionals. So this would be a player or a guild. So some investors also just prefer to invest in people. Maybe you want to support your favorite player. Or you're just lazy and you don't want to do all the research yourself. That's totally fine. This option is the least amount of work. Now, I love making more money with less work, especially if I know the player or team is really good. But it's important to note that the investing option heavily depends on the game. In some games, you have no choice but to invest in teams because usually this is when the game is really big and complex and it takes a lot of expertise. So in these games, there's no way you can make a profit by yourself because the complexity and the competition is just so fierce. My personal prediction for the crypto gaming industry is that these type of games will become the biggest economies because all the participants are so deeply engaged. So keep your eye out for these type of games because they tend to attract the best talent and a lot of money. When investing in a team, you're looking for good leaders, researchers, and mentors. And of course, good players, right? And it's all about the talent. So being able to recruit good players is key. But you'll also want to find a team that already has pre-existing assets in a network. That way the impact that your investment dollars are being multiplied by what the guild has already built. So in some games, that means they have land ownership advantages or they're collaborating with other guilds. But whether it's a guild or a team or an individual solo player, you can use Lootbox. So, what is Lootbox? Lootbox lets you invest in your favorite gamers and enjoy profit sharing. It's very simple. The players can create a loot box which sells profit-sharing NFTs that you as a sponsor can buy and redeem profit sharing as the gamer or guild plays. So you can visit our website, lootbox.fund, to learn more. Overall, investing in players or guilds has a well-rounded scorecard. The most attractive part is that it takes zero work. You just let the players do their thing. In exchange, you do need to wait for them to execute on their strategy, and know that the players or guilds will keep any extra profit that exceeds what they've promised you. So this earning strategy is best if you want exposure to crypto games without doing any work. Oh, okay, wow. So that was a lot of information. So let's take a moment to breathe. That was a bit of information overload. So let's summarize it all into a final scorecard for our convenience. When comparing risk, lower is better. So our winner in this category is being a scholar or renting. You will almost never lose money. So there's almost no risk. Now in terms of the wait time, we're at a 5-way tie. In this case, you'd want to include liquidity here, so which would make the winner like token hodling without staking. Now in terms of work, the least is definitely investing in players and guilds. You just let the professionals handle it and you sit back and collect profit sharing from your loot box. The highest returns category is a 2-way tie between early NFT pre-sales and token hodling with staking. Right? So NFT pre-sales, they take more research and waiting, while token hodling with staking requires you to kind of lock up your assets for some time. So both have amazing returns if you make the right investment choices. Finally, the best liquidity can be found in token hodling without staking. You can easily and immediately sell your tokens at any time, and it is the most freedom out of all the options. Isn't that amazing? There are literally so many ways to make money in crypto gaming, and this was not possible 5 years ago or even 2 years ago. But the genie's out of the bottle, and now blockchain gaming, crypto gaming is going to change everything. Alright, so next steps. It's time to do this episode's challenge. So this challenge, you're going to research one of the 5 income streams that we talked about this episode. And you're going to research that for a specific game. Then you're going to go share your research in Heartbeat. You can start a new thread and just share it with your classmates. Then go comment in 3 of your classmates. And then finally, like always, share today's episode on social media. Would love to hear your feedback. And that's the end of episode 2. I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. I would love to hear your feedback in Heartbeat or social media on how we can improve for you. In the next episode, we're going to explore your personal brand as a crypto gamer and how it fits into the current state of the industry. And if you want to contribute to Lootbox as a volunteer, just message me. Volunteers will be rewarded with future airdrop tokens. So this is a list of things we need help with. So thanks everyone for attending. I will now open the floor for questions and answers. And if you have questions later, you can ask them on Heartbeat 2 or social media. So, thank you everyone. Questions? Thank you, Yurikin. Yeah. How'd you guys like that episode? Did you learn anything interesting? Anything new? I wasn't sure which parts were obvious and which parts were kind of like not obvious, and so there's no specific game to research for the homework. You can choose whatever game you want, but pick one of the 5 income methods and research that for that game. So whatever game you want, right? Pegasi or like Axie or some of the new ones, right? Like Big Time. Have fun with it. Pick a game you like and just do the research, and then share your research in your cohort channel with the rest of your class. Nice. Hello, Amos. Any more questions? Okay, awesome. Oh yeah, we got our first Nigerians and some Venezuelans in our class in cohort 1. So very exciting. We are starting to hit different time zones. We still got most of the class is still in the Philippines, but we got people from every continent now. So that's very exciting. Okay, awesome, awesome. All right. Well, guys, I think that's it. If anyone has any more questions, now is the your chance to type them out here, and if not, we'll kind of like end the episode. Yeah, so the next episode, these episodes take a long time to make. It takes about 30 hours to make one of these episodes, which isn't even that bad. But like, you know, we're also like building out the tech. We're making partnerships and stuff, trying to bring as much value to you guys as possible to really like empower you. So we're thinking that, you know, we were originally thinking 2 episodes a week, but that's coming to be quite difficult. So I think it's going to be 1 episode per week now. That's a lot more sustainable for our team. And then we can also, you know, work on building great things. And yeah, like I think soon we're going to have like a PUBG tournament, or like a Age of Empires tournament or something that we're partnering with another guild on doing. But even though these are non-crypto games, you can win crypto because the tournament is going to be like, we're going to use Lootbox in the tournament, so you can actually win. Yeah, exactly, Amos. I'm really excited to see all your research. You don't have to like research like crazy, you know, you just light research is fine, right? It's more like it's an exercise in doing the research and then sharing it with others. So, and in the next episode, we're gonna learn how like you doing this and even like posting it on Twitter and stuff will build your personal brand and help you get sponsors. So yeah, next episode is also just going to be really a lot of good learnings. So, yeah, please let me know your feedback and your thoughts on social media or in Heartbeat, because we really want to do everything we can to make this like the best educational boot camp out there for you guys. Okay, cool. Right, if there's any no more questions, then we will wrap up the call here. So this was a pretty long episode, about almost 1 hour. I think the next one will be 30 minutes to 1 hour as well. All right. No more questions. Cool. In that case, thank you everyone for attending and taking time out of your day. So this video will be uploaded to YouTube, and I can't wait to see your research and your social media comments. So thank you everyone. So have a great rest of your day and night, or wherever you are. Take care. Bye.